Now at 6, Neosho cuts the ribbon on a brand new charging station for electric vehicles. Plus, a longtime animal shelter celebrates a silver anniversary of service to the Joplin area. And
in less than a week, Webb City High School students will be back to new classrooms. I'm Fernanda Silva, and I'll show you the new esports edition.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
When a new school year begins at Webb City High School next week, students will suddenly have a brand new option. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Webb City High School students will have 6 brand new classrooms, one of them a $50,000 esports edition. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has that story.
Chastity Cardoza graduated from Webb City High School just 3 months ago. Now she wishes she could go back to school to make use of its new esports edition.
I feel pretty mad about it. I really wish they had that. I really wish I could have been part of something that I actually like.
Like Chastity, other high schoolers are interested in technologies that surround the esports world. Esports is short for electronic sports, a form of competition using video games.
Kids are gaming. I mean, the reality is kids are gaming, and so if they can make a connection with the school and represent the school, we know that kids that are successful, that are in our co-curricular and extracurricular programs, they do better academically, they do better behaviorally.
As the fall semester starts, the school will recruit students to join their team. They plan to compete in both regional and state tournaments.
Actually, all of the schools in the COC, our conference, the Central Ozark Conference, have to some extent an esports program. Some are more elaborate than others. Some may only have a few computers that are dedicated. We have an entire lab that's dedicated to it.
The esports edition will also serve as classrooms for some high school students. Instead of sitting in regular chairs, they will be on these ones to learn coding and programming. School officials also expect the facility to help students with their future.
Also teaches a lot of teamwork skills. It's not just kids playing games. There are a lot of soft skills that are involved. There's a lot of communication involved. Military and security areas use drones and a tremendous amount of the esports skills. The construction business, iron workers, there's a lot of that's done not unlike how you would play the esports games.
Webb City High School students will also have new labs, a remodeled theater, and other additions for the fall semester. In Webb City, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
According to the school district, 204 schools in Missouri are currently involved with esports. They also say because all the competitions are online, there's no need to travel. 4 staters considering getting electric vehicles now have a new charging option. Liberty Utility holds a ribbon cutting for a new electric vehicle charging station. The chargers support any plug-in electric vehicle and offer 24/7 driver support and monitoring. This represents the first installation in Liberty's Ready to Charge program. The EV charging stations are located in downtown Neosho for easy access to and from Interstate 49.
This will really give an opportunity to draw some of that traffic off the interstate that is traveling and get that EV charge. And it's great when folks are getting their car charged, they can visit the shops and the restaurants here on the square in downtown and really make Neosho a destination.
Liberty's Ready Charge program launched in October of 2022. Boy, beautiful weather out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane.
All right, thank you very much, Dow. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely gorgeous today. Lots of sunshine and very, very comfortable temperatures for mid-August. We just have a few clouds on satellite view this afternoon and this morning. And speaking of this morning, look at these lows. Generally in the upper 50s to lower 60s. A beautiful morning shaping up this morning. And then this afternoon, we only warmed up into the upper 70s and lower 80s across the area. So a very pleasant afternoon across the entire 4-state area. And this evening, we're going to see the same thing. Temperatures dropping through the 70s, 60s, all the way down to 56 degrees by tomorrow morning. So you definitely want to open up the windows and enjoy that. So we're going to have a cool night tonight and then a wonderful Wednesday, a slow warm up in our forecast. And the summer is going to be coming back, so don't worry. And an extended dry period, and I'll tell you all about that in just a bit.
We'll catch you in a few. Authorities turned to the public for help in finding an armed robber. Now, last night near midnight, Joplin police received a report of an armed robbery at Mac's Stop convenience store. It's at 1302 South Schifferdecker Avenue. A surveillance camera showed the robber, but his face was covered and he wore gloves. He pointed a handgun at an employee and demanded money. The robber left with an undisclosed amount of cash. No one was hurt. The Jasper Newton chapter of 100 Women Who Care donated $3,700 to the Area Agency on Aging. The money will go toward the Meals on Wheels program and fund add-ons such as fresh produce, paper products, and other essentials. Currently, participants receive one meal per day with milk and bread.
If they're getting homebound meals, they can't get out of the house to go get their groceries or other supplies for the house. So this is something that we can do for them.
You know, my mother passed away this year and she was 95, could not drive. And, you know, luckily family was there close enough to provide for her. But that isn't always the case in today's world. So for these people, they not only get those visits from Meals on Wheels, and they not only get a meal, but now this is an opportunity for us to step up and give them a little bit more and a little love.
100 Women Who Care has donated more than $50,000 to local organizations since starting the Jasper Newton chapter. An animal rescue shelter in Joplin celebrates a milestone. The Golden Paw Pet Rescue celebrates their silver anniversary this year. Yeah, they've been a friend to man's best friend in Joplin for 25 years now. It's a lot of grooming and pet adoptions, but for one of the shelter's founders, it's been a real labor of love.
But there have been thousands of animals that have come through Golden Paw, been adopted, animals we groomed, animals we kept, just all kinds. And that's my passion, animals. The other thing that really is wonderful is the number of clients who actually have turned into personal friends over the years. And there's a lot of those.
Golden Paw Pet Rescue is at 2300 North Main Street in Joplin. Coming up, the publisher of a Marion County newspaper speaks out after a police raid on the paper's office drew international attention. Plus, this year's high school football preview continues with a look at the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's live only at Ashley.
The publisher of a newspaper in Marion County, Kansas, is speaking out now about last week's police raid on his home and newspaper office. He says he's considering whether to take legal action. It says he's fielding phone calls from media outlets all around the nation and around the world. Reporter Nick Nelson has the latest.
Marion County Record Eric Meyer.
This is Marion County Record publisher Eric Meyer answering a phone call from the state of New York. The phones at the Marion County Record have been ringing off the hook from people around the country who are supporting them after this raid. Headlines have circled the globe after police raided the Marion County Record's newsroom, as well as Meyer's home, a raid Meyer calls unprecedented. He says he's in almost constant communication with his legal team to figure out what kind of litigation they should pursue, if any.
Every attorney we've talked to says it. Every person who's read about this story says it. And there's no one, literally no one, who has said it was proper to execute this search warrant. And if there is, let them call me up and tell me.
This all stems from an incident where reporters for the Record were kicked out of an event hosted by Carrie's Kitchen, owned by Carrie Newell. Reporters later discovered Newell had a suspended driver's license and a DUI, as she was trying to obtain a liquor license for her business. Meyer insists Record reporters obtain the information through completely legal channels.
We not only did not do anything illegal, we reported everything we did, and we would have gladly shared almost anything that we gathered with the police if they had asked, instead of wanting to come knock our doors down and throw us out and seize our equipment. So why did they want to seize our equipment?
The Marion Police Department insists it's doing its job in investigating potential criminal activity, saying in a statement while the law does protect newsrooms from most searches, that's not the case when journalists themselves have committed a crime. Meyer is also dealing with the death of his 98-year-old mother, Joan, co-owner of the paper, who he says died due to the stress of the raid.
You know, they're going to go visit a 98-year-old woman and make the last day of her life total hell, which I will never forgive these people for doing that. And if they aren't held accountable by the people of the city of Marion, I will never forgive the people of the city of Marion.
Throughout this hardship, Meyer says he's grateful for the support the paper is receiving.
The outpouring of support and all the different interviews that I've done and all the different other things I've got to do to get the paper put together are probably a blessing in a very strange way.
The police chief, Gideon Cody, didn't respond to questions about whether police filed a probable cause affidavit for that search warrant. A little bit later, the Royals lay down a win last night against the Mariners in less than expected fashion. John's going to have details.
And we're going to have the details on how cold it's going to get tonight, as well as your weekend forecast when we come back.
Then take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune.
Well, we have enjoyed some really nice weather the last couple of days with some rainfall and also below normal temperatures. And right now in Seneca, Missouri, at Indigo Sky Casino Resort, we see lots of blue skies and just a few cumulus clouds out there dotting the atmosphere. And that's about it. But we made it up to only 80 degrees today, which is typical of mid-September instead of mid-August. But we'll take it. We started out at a cool 60 degrees, of course, way below the normals of 91 and 70 or 68. And we are, believe it or not, above normal for the rainfall so far for this month. And over the last couple of days, you can see that there's been quite a bit of rain, especially down in northeastern Oklahoma, along and south of I-44. That's where most of the rainfall has fallen. And unfortunately for our friends out in Chautauqua and Elk counties, they missed out on the rainfall over the last few days. But at least the temperatures are nice. Temperatures are right now in the upper 70s, 77 in Stockton, 77 in Nevada, just gorgeous. 84 in Sedan for one of the warmest readings, but still below normal. 82 in Veneta. Dew points, they're way low, and that's what's allowing it to feel very comfortable out there. 51 in Iola right now, very dry air there. 58 in Nevada, same thing in Stockton. And this is kind of an early indication of where we're headed for low temperatures tonight. So if you like the fresh air, open up the windows because the dew points are down in the refreshing and pleasant range, and that's going to continue through the evening and overnight hours. Right now, a beautiful sky in Joplin with a temperature of 78 degrees. North wind at 7, dew point at 58, and the humidity as a result is only at 50%. Rain chances are going to be 0 or pretty close to it over the next 36 hours, and not just the next 36 hours, but several days in a row as we have a ridge of high pressure out to the west that's slowly going to build back into our area. And as it does, that means the summer-like temperatures are going to be coming back and all the rainfall is going to be going up towards the north. But tonight, very nice. Temperatures in the mid-50s, northerly winds and dry conditions, a beautiful evening. And then tomorrow, a carbon copy of today, maybe a little bit warmer with temperatures in the low to mid-80s, but still well below normal for August. And then as we go into Thursday morning, lows in the mid-60s with westerly winds. And then Thursday afternoon, a few clouds here and there with temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees, actually closer to normal. And then as we go into Friday morning, lows still pretty pleasant, generally in the mid-60s. And over the next 7 days, it's going to be dry for the next several days. And look at that, as we head towards the weekend, you knew it couldn't last forever with temperatures getting close to 100 degrees again as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. But that's only slightly above normal for this time of year, but mainly going to be dry all the way until next Friday.
Wow. I really like your idea of opening up the windows tonight.
Yes.
If you leave them open too long, it's going to get chilly eventually.
You might need a blanket.
You might. Thanks. Yeah. Still ahead, Missouri Southern Athletics announces its 2023 Hall of Fame class, and Pittsburgh High School football is on the field for day 2 of practice. John Dales has those stories and more coming up.
It's day 2 of high school football practices in Kansas, and Pittsburgh is one of the schools taking full advantage of the beautiful weather today. Purple Dragons out on the practice field getting ready for their season opener at Emporia in just 17 days. After losing the first 2 games of the season in 2022, Pittsburgh turned things around big time, peaked in the playoffs. Purple Dragons didn't lose consecutive games for the rest of the year and made it to the state quarterfinals. Head coach Josh Latimer is excited to see what that can turn into this year and gives credit to the upperclassmen leading the way.
Just the team chemistry over the summer has been unbelievable. The older guys leading the younger guys, and the work they've been putting in and holding each other accountable has been amazing, and it's been great to see. You know, a lot of these guys are returning starters from last season, and just lead by example. We preach to them that good teams are led by coaches, great teams are led by players, and these guys have stepped up and led the program this summer.
Defensive line, I think all the energy starts with us, and we got some pretty energetic guys up there. They bring something to the team. We just love football. We all have a passion for it. It's all one thing. We all come together. That's how we, instead of like hanging out, going partying, we come play football.
And Missouri Southern Athletics has a new class of Lions that will be inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame in 2023. School announced this afternoon. 5 former student athletes will be inducted on October 28th this fall. Danny Jones, who was a 7-time MIAA champion in women's track and field. Nikki Nill, top goal scorer in the women's soccer program history. Harold Noir Felice, the greatest running back in program history. Katie Tyler, who holds the record in wins, shutouts, saves, and goals allowed as a goaltender in soccer. Brandon Williams, program record holder in football in sacks and tackles for loss. And Bill Martz, who has been attending Lions games since the mid-1970s. And in Major League Baseball, Cardinals and Royals both at home tonight, each of them coming off wins last night as well. Crazy finish in that Royals game. They led 5-0, but coughed it up as they allowed the Mariners to take the lead right here in the top of the 9th inning. From 5-0, it turns into 6-5 Mariners. Bottom of the 9th, though, rarely do you see this. A walk-off safety squeeze by Dairon Blanco does it perfectly. Gives the Royals a win over a playoff hopeful. They play again tonight at Kauffman. First pitch about 45 minutes away. Seattle throws out a rookie starting pitcher, Emerson Hancock, has only started 1 game in his major league career, no decision in that one. Looking for his first win tonight in Kansas City. Cardinals home against the A's last night. St. Louis outfielder Jordan Walker, the hero in that one, cleared the bases with a 3 RBI triple in the bottom of the 7th. Wouldn't give up the lead the rest of the way. They play again tonight, first pitch at Busch Stadium, just about 20 minutes away. We were talking about it before we came on the air, though. Best day so far this season of going to visit a football practice because 75-degree weather. I'll take it.
It's a nice way to get acclimated to practice before the heat sets in, and it will soon enough.
Wow.
We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A Joplin organization hosts an art exhibit at the Spivak Center focused on showcasing the perspective of the LGBTQ community. Plus, the Interstate Fair is underway in Coffeyville, Kansas. We're going to check out the festivities. And the race is on to update children's vaccinations as the school year gets underway. Those stories, a lot more, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hey, when severe weather strikes, you're going to want to stay informed, and you can do that by scanning this QR code. You can do it right now with your phone. It'll take you to the KOAM News Now YouTube page, where our weather team will live stream during severe weather events to give you updated information. You can also get our newscast there, by the way, on our YouTube page anytime, even a past newscast if you'd like. While you're there, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Yeah, if you ever miss a newscast, go to the YouTube page. You can find them from any date, any time of day.
That's right. Might be a 2-dog night tonight.
Okay, I know what that means. Kind of chilly.
That's right, kind of chilly with temperatures down in the mid-50s. And then we start the slow warm-up. But as we head towards the weekend, it's going to get close to 100 degrees, unfortunately, again. And then staying that way pretty much all the way through next week. Maybe some storms towards the tail end of next week with a little bit cooler temperatures.
The tail end to follow up the 2-dog nights.
That's
and
right.
Final sports note.
I'll keep everybody updated on those Cardinals and Royals games tonight. Obviously, both of them playing out the stretch at this point, but what is exciting about them recently is their younger players are the ones that are making plays, the plays that I mentioned.
That's something to look forward
It is,
to
yeah.
anyway. This season's kind of lost. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Captioning on KOAM.